Hey y'all, I'm not doing that intro again because this is not my first time doing this. I was all over the place. I'm just be honest. I was being lazy, not trying to write out my steps, speaking off the top of the dome. It wasn't flowing consistently. And if y'all are asking me about this home buying process and I'm all over the place, how beneficial is the video? It's not. So I'm doing it again. Okay. Action. Take two. Hold on now. Did I delete something? Wait a minute. You know this touch screen. All right, here we go. All right, home buying process. I can't believe I'm doing this all over again, but it's gonna be so worth it. Let's get right into it. All right, so home buying process. Familiarize yourself with potential neighborhoods, the style and the home, your needs and your wants in a home. Keep in mind that you may not get everything. Let's put the emphasis on that again. You may not get everything that you want, but it's okay because it's your first home. And it's funny because when we're looking at, myself included, when you're looking at your first home, it's so exciting. It's like, ooh, I always wanted a home with a garage, with certain, I don't know, 1,500 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2.5, because I need that half. I need that powder room. You have so many needs, so many wants, or you could be very minimalistic and like, hey, I just want a house, and that's cool. But I just want you to know that it's okay not to check every box on your want list, and life will go on. You know, it's okay. All right, so let's get into this process. Look, I feel so official. It is so, Dominique, you did good. It took you a minute, but you did good. All right, number one, find a realtor. And in that case, if you know me, you know who I'm recommending, and that's James. I will put his information in the link below. Find a lender. Well, actually, no. You don't have to necessarily find a lender. Typically, if you're working with a realtor, they will refer you to a lender. But again, you don't have to go with their folks. You can do your research like, hey, I appreciate the person that you offered, but I'm gonna do my own research and see, you know, who I like better. Again, well, not again, because it's my first time saying it, but when you're trying to shop around, just like you do a car, I mean, I've never really shopped around for a car, not yet, but you don't want everybody pulling your credit. So when you are going from lender to lender, trying to find that perfect balance, tell them, hey, this is based off what you think. Be honest. Don't be lying saying your credit score is 750 when it's a 650. Don't do that. So be like, hey, I don't want you to pull my credit yet. I'm doing a little shopping around. I'm in this ballpark area. So when you run your numbers based off my salary that I tell you, based off my credit score, let me know what numbers you come up with. And if I like the numbers, then I'll allow you to pull my credit. Don't be going from lender to lender, allowing everybody to pull your credit. Or if you already have a copy of your credit report, email that to them. Like, hey, don't pull my credit. I have my own credit report. I want you to run your numbers based off what I have. And if I like the numbers, then you can officially pull my credit report. So keep that in mind, please. Now your lender, they will ask you for a list of documents that will be tax documents, bank statements, pay stubs, quite a few things. If you have stocks, they're gonna, when I say the lender want to know your business, because guess what? They're giving you the money, so I would want to know your business too. I'm giving you my money, so I'm gonna need you to prove yourself. Are you worthy of this 250K or 300K that I'm about to give you? Because if not, you wasting my time. Lender, okay, and then during that process, your lender will also give you a pre-qual letter. So in order to put a contract on a home, you need a pre-qualification letter. So when you know you're ready, get that pre-qualification letter, because look, you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you see a house and it's like, oh, I really like this house, and you know, because getting a house now is very competitive, everybody's looking. So you might see a house on the market, next thing you know, you refresh that page, it's gone, or if it's not gone, it's pending contract. So to avoid being in a situation where you want to put a contract down but you can't because you haven't got a pre-approval letter, save yourself the time. And if your realtor is a good realtor, before he even starts showing you houses, he might ask you, hey, you got a pre-qualification letter? Because I don't, you know, that's number one. We need to have that. Let's see. What is a pre-qualification letter? A pre-qualification letter is pretty much letting the potential seller know how much money you qualify for. So if you only qualify for $300,000 and you're looking at a $400K house, the math not adding up. Make it make sense. So that's the purpose of a pre-qualification letter, just to make sure that, hey, this person has been pre-qualified based off of a lender. This is how much they qualify for. Okay, cool. They can afford this house, or they cannot afford this house. And if you cannot afford the house, don't waste your time looking at houses you can't afford. It's okay. You'll get there one day. Or just stay in your lane. That's it. Let's see. What's next? Oh, okay. So when all that is done, honestly, next on my list is your realtor should ask you what kind of home you like, because typically every realtor, they have their own distro list, which means they'll ask you during that first initial conversation, hey, or second, third conversation, who knows, what kind of house are you looking for? That way, that way they can personalize a list just for you. It doesn't make sense for them to send you all these townhomes when in actuality you want a condo. Or it doesn't make sense for them to send you a condo when you're looking for a single family home. So it's pretty much, say it, don't spray it. My bad, y'all. So it's pretty much like a list personalized for you, what kind of house you want. If you want a 3-bedroom home, so they're going to filter out this list and send it to you every day, or maybe it all depends the frequency. Everyone is different. Or you can always look on Redfin, Zillow, Trulia. There's so many sites. My personal favorite is Redfin. I am not a fan of Zillow. I am not a fan of any site outside of Redfin. I'm gonna tell you why. Redfin is so accurate. It's like Zillow is your Murray's. Y'all remember Murray's? Like the grocery store back in the day? Zillow is like the Murray's. Redfin is like the Whole Foods. Trulia, I don't know, it's kind of like Murray's. So we want Whole Foods over here, okay? Or Wegmans, I'm sorry. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with Whole Foods, but I'm a Wegmans girl. Redfin is Wegmans, okay? So I like Wegmans. I'm sorry. I love Wegmans. But I love Redfin because it's up to date, real-time data. The MLS system, it seems like they don't skip a beat. You on Zillow, when I first started looking, I didn't know any better. Zillow was my best friend. I started looking at houses back in maybe 2016. I didn't purchase a home until 2018, but looking at houses is like my social media. I like to look at them for fun and just get a general idea of what it is that I want, so that when that time did come, I knew what it was I was looking for. But back to the agenda here. Redfin, everything is up to date. So for Zillow, I was looking at homes, and when I would tell James, my realtor at the time, I'm like, hey, I want to look at this house. He'll go in the MLS system, and he's like, oh, that house is under contract. And I'm like, what? It don't say that on Zillow. But guess what? When I learned about Redfin and I went on Redfin, the minute it went under contract or independent status or contingency, it was updated on Redfin. Zillow is slow. That's just my personal opinion, and I think a lot of people have experienced that and noticed that as well. So again, Redfin, is nothing wrong with Zillow, but if you want the real time, that Wegmans type of data, then Redfin it is. So next, you're gonna start looking at homes based on the distribution list. And you can talk to the realtor today. You see a house tomorrow, you can call your realtor like, hey, I got my pre-qual letter yesterday. I want to go look at this house. You busy? You ready? Can we, schedule it? And your realtor would do his thing because that's what you ultimately paying him for later on down the line. Well, not you, but anyways, he or she will schedule for you to go look at this property. Now, transportation, that's on y'all. Y'all can meet them there or they could pick you up. I don't know. That's none of my business. Next, you start looking at your homes. Don't rush to get a home. Now, it may be times when you may have looked at 20, let's start at 10, 15, 20 plus homes. Don't get discouraged. I know it's easier said than done. I was one of those people. I was getting so irritated, like, oh my gosh, we already looked at 15 houses. Am I complicated? Am I not gonna find something? Like, let me just hurry up and get something because I'm just tired of looking. My realtor, but that's where a bond realtor comes into play. He's like, don't feel bad. This is my job. This is what I do for a living. This is how I make my money. Don't rush into a decision that you're not going to be happy about. Now, some realtors, they may try to rush you into a decision because guess what? They lazy. They just want that quick check and they out the door. And here you are stuck with an unhappy decision. Remember, this is not a pair of shoes. This is not a purse. This is nothing like that. This is a real deal decision. So don't rush. Please don't. Take your time. The house will come for you. Moving along. Okay, so let's get into the process after the whole pre-qualification. So once you find a home that you actually like, you're going to tell your realtor, hey, I like this. Can we move forward? Nowadays, houses are very competitive because guess what? Everybody is looking. So you may see a home today. Guess what? Tomorrow, it's under contract. You think you had time, like, oh, let me ponder, let me think about this one. You think too long, somebody gonna snatch it up. So once you find a home that you really like and you're willing to move forward with, that's when you tell your realtor, don't worry about the paperwork, that's your realtor job. He or she will draft up all the contract documentation. They'll already have a copy of your pre-approval. If not, easy peasy. Hey, send me a copy of pre-approval and you'll do it. You put a contract on the house, make sure, I forgot to mention this. Make sure when you start looking for a house, number one, your finances are good. Number one, your credit score is good. They say 620 or better. You can get a house without a 620 credit score, but guess what? That means higher interest rate. Who wants to pay more money when you can just fix your credit, be patient, wait for your time, and then proceed? And then you have to have money saved up. I'm not going to give a dollar amount as to how much you should have saved up because everybody's situation is different. But just keep in mind, you will have to pay a down payment unless you in some type of program, benefit, VA loan, whatever the case may be. But budget for a down payment, closing costs, and other type of fees. There's so many that I'm not about to sit here and name. So, where was I? Okay, yeah. So your realtor will submit the contract. Well, your realtor will type up the contract. He or she, I'm saying he because my realtor is a guy. So he or she will draft up the paperwork. They will send you the documents via a portal. In my case, it was DocuSign. A lot of people use DocuSign. You'll digitally sign it, and the next day, or maybe even the same night, your realtor will send the contract to the seller. At least the seller representation, which will be another another realtor. But and from there, the wait begins. You might like this house so much that you don't know what to do with yourself. You just like, oh my God, are they gonna pick me? Oh my goodness, did I do a good offer? Because guess what? A house may be listed for $300K. And it's so many people looking at this house. So guess what? I want to be competitive. So let me offer $305K, you know? So you do stuff like that. Or typically the average request for closing costs is about 3%. So it's like, okay, the average is 3%. Let me be a little more competitive. I'll say all I need is 2%. So you seem you appear to be more appealing to the seller, because it's like, as a seller, I really don't want to come out of pocket too much to help somebody else with their closing costs. So guess what? This person only asking for 2%. I'm gonna go with them because this other person asked for 3%. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you want to be competitive, but don't be too much. You don't want to offer too much money, then it's like, dang, it wasn't even that, it wasn't worth it, you know. So again, the waiting game. Some people, they may take a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, like who knows. You may submit an offer on the first day that they're accepting offers, and then they say, hey, I'm not going to present these offers to my client until 5 days from now. So guess what? You got to wait 5 days just to see if they're going to accept or deny, and you can't do nothing about it. So if they deny you, it's okay. We all been there. Feelings get hurt, especially if you thought this was the house, you know. But if they deny you, no babe, that house wasn't for you. That's it, that's all. Don't think too much into it. Don't think, oh, I should have bidded this. No, you shouldn't have. It wasn't for you. What's going to be for you is for you. Now, if they accept your offer, let's continue. Hey guys, I truly apologize for cutting it short on you guys, but again, this is part 1. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you tune in next week for part 2. I will be going through the process once you do win the contract for the property. And make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Catch y'all next week.